I'm Spencer.
I'm Rosie.
Hey, wake up.
Okay.
I'm Eric.
You know what? Can we talk about something? Where's that fire? Where's the boy? Where's the kid? Where's JD?
Tired. Asleep. At home. Child support.
Does the keep
Child support.
I don't know. I was just thinking of shit. That
So
keeps
this is
down
the
black
it.
people.
Okay.
This is the Itch Network podcast, episode 81.
I think it is 81.
Just as inquisitive between both of you.
81. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about some fantastic Overwatch news.
Some pretty wild reviews coming up.
Yeah.
And
The thought of what gaming needs. I actually do have one, actually.
For Honor Beta came out this weekend, so get into it.
And so much more. Or so much less.
But first, Eric, what have you been playing?
JD, I am so glad that you asked me what I am playing this week.
It did come out of my mouth.
I've been playing Pokemon Go. I've been playing Fire Emblem Heroes, both mobile games. I don't know what's happening to me, guys. I'm turning into a mobile gamer.
You might not be able to be on the show anymore.
And I've been playing
I'm not
Overwatch. Been playing some Overwatch, getting ready,
Oversnatch.
trying to get the Reinhardt skin and all that stuff, which won't spoil anything, but I succeeded. I got it.
So you spoiled it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Not to spoil it, but here's a spoiler.
Not to spoil it, but they die in the end.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. What about you, JD?
I've been playing work and overtime.
Ooh.
And Overwatch! Ah!
All that over.
Yeah. It's literally all I've been playing. I haven't had time to do it.
What about you, Spencer?
Before I say what I've been playing, I do want to say that these what I've been playing segments are brought to you by Arizona Iced Tea
I've got one too.
I don't know.
and Monster.
And sure, and muscle milk. It's good, delicious.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Muscle milk doesn't make your wiener bigger. But what I have been playing this week is also Fire Emblem Heroes.
Yeah.
Dabbling in that. And finished up Dragon Quest VIII.
Really?
Journey of the Cursed King on the 3DS.
Ooh,
Dude,
review
how many
inbound.
hours did that take you?
It's like 65.
Jesus.
Oh, you sped run it.
Yeah. Speed running through it.
Originally, when I picked it up, that was going to be my secret review originally. And then I was like, well, how long does this take to beat? And it was like 80 hours. I was like, fuck it, I'm going to go play Pokemon Duel.
Yeah, it's long. All these Dragon Quest games are long as balls.
But the journey's still
Balls are
always
long.
great. Especially when it's
If
for
they are,
Cursed
go see a
King.
doctor.
I've also been playing Overwatch on the PC.
Oh, really?
Loving it a lot more than the console.
Really?
So I can actually play a sniper now, which is cool.
No, yeah.
I can aim at things and they die, apparently. Apparently she can get headshots. I had no idea.
No, right?
Yo.
Did they patch this in?
Recent addition to Overwatch headshots. So that's been fun. And that's it. Rosie, what have you been playing?
Well, I'm glad you asked, man. I've been playing a little.
More of a courtesy, to be honest.
I've been playing Dragon Quest VIII as well. Been playing, trying to get better at League of Legends. I feel like I've actually gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
And that's essentially it. I actually haven't been playing too much this week, but I will be playing a lot more For Honor Beta. That's for sure.
Yes.
You also been playing Super Meat Boy on our Saturday morning podcast.
Yeah.
Saturday morning stream.
You know what? The beginning of that felt great. The ending of that lost my mind.
Yeah. That's how that
I guess
game
you
goes.
could say it went to shit, huh? When you fought that shit guy.
Because there's a poop man.
Yeah.
We tried to stream Mass Effect.
Oh, okay.
Technical difficulties.
I was thinking. I was also playing.
Wasn't
that
it very effective?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
another
game I played,
but
whatever.
we're gonna keep it.
Yeah.
But it's
Try.
all good. We'll have it up next weekend.
All right, so what all happened this week? What is going on?
Colleen got announced for Street Fighter 5.
She is leggy.
What?
Yeah, she's Gil's servant in Street Fighter 3. You don't really hear too much about her. But in Street Fighter 5, apparently she's got ice powers. Chick's an ice man.
She's
yeah.
Russian. You know, they got the cold.
Ice
I
woman.
actually don't think she's
You better
Russian.
check your
I think
privilege.
she's lying about it.
Oh, okay.
I don't think she's Russian, yeah. She looks like she's dressed for...
Yeah, it looked
but,
like
but if I remember correctly, she's very deceiving. She's a fucking liar, just like all women. So, anyway.
Love you, honey.
So, they have
This
all...
segment was brought to you by Muscle Man.
and Monster Grease, too. So,
Arizona tea.
yeah.
I
So
need
they
my
have...
sensu juice.
Jeez. That's code for jizz or something.
Green man jizz.
Oh, God. Piccolo. Oh.
So does that change the tournament scene, adding this new Colleen
So, of
character?
course.
Yes, it always will. She can counter people. She's the first character on this game that can counter people. She has fallen asleep. It's okay.
Nope, stretch my neck.
No, that's because I was gonna cry. So she can
I would
counter.
never fall asleep on you, JD.
Oh, thanks. You didn't say it last night. But she can counter. She can double jump, and
I fell
she can.
asleep underneath you.
Oh God. I don't
There's
need
a
the
difference.
visual.
Okay,
I
sorry,
can say
go
it
on.
without doing that. Anyway, so
Eric's a power bottom.
I was just that bored.
oh God. So anyway, regardless, yes, she's a character. I'm so frazzled right now. Just go on without me. Oh God. Oh God, not on the camera. Anyway, what's been going on?
Overwatch. Overwatch PTR. Talking about the updates to Bastion. He's getting his rework. No more headshots, more armor. He can run and heal with a resource that goes away. So, Spence, you might end up wanting to play him because he can heal on the move and stuff. He's a little bit like Soldier with armor now. And instead of being able to AoE heal the team, he just heals himself.
Wait, who? What?
Bastion.
Bastion can do it on
He
the
can
run,
never
though?
AoE heal. What are you talking about?
No,
I
that's
said
what I'm saying.
instead of Soldier.
can.
Oh,
He's,
yeah, he can heal.
He
on the
got
run.
reworked a little bit like...
Okay.
Yeah.
That is big.
Yeah.
He got armor added onto his thing, which reduces damage from bullets and stuff.
I don't like that.
I
He
want
always
him
had
to be...
armor. He always had armor.
Did he always have armor?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was just more of.
He got more armor now, though, right?
I haven't played the PTR.
You
Okay.
know what? I'll be honest. I've never played one game with Bastion. Not even like a minute.
He's fun. You can play the games really easily with him.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
So
now
the
for
biggest
personal.
change that I'll have to say for Bastion is they took away headshots for him in turret mode. When he's propped up, his full 200 round. Didn't they upgrade that to 300 rounds now?
It was. I don't know if it was in turret mode. I know it was in recon mode. They increased it.
Yeah, they increased his recon mode to 25 bullets, so he's the same as Soldier now. And I believe they increased his also turret mode by 100 bullets, giving him a total round of 300. But they took away headshots from him, so he doesn't get double damage for that anymore. Which I think that's probably one of the biggest things. The other second one would be that he can heal while he's moving. So he feels a lot more like if he's getting chased down, he can kind of he can start healing himself as he's moving.
Oh my God!
So when
Tracer!
when Farrah comes at him and finds out where he's at, and she's shooting rockets, he can heal himself as he's running away.
Initiate fuck off mode.
The other one that is getting some love is Mercy. Her ultimate right now, when she casts her ultimate, most of the time you always see her die right afterwards, after she uses her resurrection.
She's a big beacon of light.
Yeah, so everyone focuses her down as soon as they see that. Now, there's a 1.5 or 2 second invulnerability where she cannot be hurt, and anyone she's rezzing cannot be hurt
Oh, that's really
while they're
powerful.
being rezzed. Yeah. So that's a really big change that's coming along.
I don't like it.
So now it's just more important to focus her down before she gets her res off.
Yeah, now she's like...
You mean what you should have been doing in the first fucking place?
Right?
Yeah, but now it's just like, alright, maybe she's not a big threat, but now that she's actually given invulnerability,
Yeah.
that is a big change.
Because when she revives that team, she
Whoa.
can now support them.
Whoa.
She can actually heal them. Because before she was reviving, and then everyone would turn and look at her and kill her, and then the
Right.
team would be fighting without their healer, and it'd be a little easier to manage. But now you have that healer to deal with at the same time as you're trying to fight off that res. It's a slight enough change to where I think it's going to allow her to be a lot more dangerous because that time where you would have killed her and she's now running back, she's now in combat, building up her next res. So potentially, off that res, she could be on fire and start a next res by the time they need it again. Rather than having to run back from the graveyard for 20, 30 seconds, she's going to stay in combat a lot more. Other than that, I didn't really see any other... I did see that there's a lot more custom game modes in the PTR, that they're allowing you to increase the speed of the payload. They're allowing you to change cooldowns on change the cooldowns on specific characters' abilities. So, like, say if you want May's Ice Wall to be available all the time, you can just adjust that one ability instead of all having just to increase all the cooldown times.
You'll fight off the map with her.
Yeah. There's quite a few things that are coming along. I definitely think I heard something about them adding Capture the Flag to more maps on the PTR in custom game mode.
Yeah.
I haven't verified that yet.
What about the 3v3?
What?
What about the 3v3?
That is an option,
Fix
yeah.
that shit. Yeah, fix that shit first.
What's wrong with it? Oh, the May. Yeah.
May makes everything dumb.
But at the same time, are they
love
going to get
May.
more maps for May? Or not from more maps for the 3v3?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm asking y'all.
I haven't heard anything about it, but it would be nice.
I like the 3v3 mode.
Yeah, no, you don't.
When I played on PC, I wrecked. I got a triple kill. And that's the most kills you can get in 3v3. Fun fact.
No, it's not. If there was a Mercy there, she would have revived, and you could have gotten 5.
That's true.
Idiot.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
You don't think about these things, Spence.
So there was actually two other changes that just came today, or yesterday. Roadhog's getting nerfed again. They're increasing the hook cooldown from 6 to 8 seconds. They are decreasing his spread for his shotgun, which isn't really a bad thing.
That's great.
To keep it in line with the hook, because now when he hooks people, it used to be they would hook at least 2 meters away. Now it's 3.5 meters. And people go, why the fuck would it be 3.5? And they're decreasing the spread. It's because melee range is 3 meters. So you can't melee anymore. So you would fire and then just move on.
Yeah.
Whenever I used to play him, I would hook them in and I'd shoot them. And then when I started getting good at auto attacking, I'd go with my whole body. I'd go, woo! Like when I...
Yeah, he'd jump off the couch.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's immersion, folks. So yeah.
Like when they played Mario Kart and they go...
Oh, yeah. Or when I'm playing Super Meat Boy and I jump.
Yeah.
All the time. Lastly, they're changing the shit for Winston. They're lowering his hitbox, or his
Headshot.
hitbox. Hurtbox.
They're shrinking it?
Yeah, because usually you just have to shoot like right here and get in his head.
Yeah.
So they're like, fuck that.
Get out of my head, soldier.
So yeah, so they're changing that, and that's good. So he'll just ultimately take less damage.
Yeah, I do feel like Winston's one of the squishier tanks.
Yeah, I always thought that. I was like, is that why though?
Well, you'll
'cause
find
it's
out later on.
Headshot.
Really?
hitbox?
He's not that bad.
I know that like when he has his abilities and stuff to get away, but if I had to sit there and just shoot into a person and they weren't moving, I feel like Winston would die first, like just taking straight damage from a
Technically
soldier.
speaking, Zarya would die first.
Really?
Yeah.
What about Reinhardt? I mean, obviously he's got his shield, but without the shield, he's kind of a...
So Reinhardt, I think,
He has a lot of armor though.
He has. I think he has the same amount of armor as Winston, which is 100.
Winston has armor?
Winston has armor.
No, I thought Reinhardt didn't have armor at all.
Reinhardt is armor.
I thought it was health. No, am I thinking the wrong guy?
No, you're talking about Roadhog?
Oh, my
Roadhog
doesn't-
has no armor.
Oh, that might be
has no what's called. Zarya has 400, so she has the least amount, but
She has
the shield, but
shield.
shield doesn't dampen any damage.
yeah.
So if people are shooting at you, yeah, technically Winston would last longer than Zarya, and depending on who it is,
Not in my match.
last longer than. Not in your matches. Well, that's why you don't play Zarya anymore, right? Because you suck with her.
I've got there's a comment that your brother made about watching me play, and someone was asking me to switch off of the tank. And he's like, no, he has the mindset of a tank. Let's let him stay there. I was like, oh, Yeah.
I
Actually,
believe that was me.
was it you?
Mm.
I thought it was your brother.
Well, they all sound alike.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically I was just told to stay as tank, and I was like, oh yeah, you know what? I'm gonna spend some time learning the different tanks in this game, because that is right. Like I do better as a tank and secondary as a healer. So I've started paying attention to the different tanks. Zarya is one that I wish I would learn a little bit more. Were we the ones playing Hanamura, and we were on the third point, and we made this big push, and I was playing Winston, and
You knocked him off the point?
I stood on the point, and as they were trying to get in, they were chasing you guys, and they saw me jump in, and Zarya and a Genji came running at me, and I just ulted and sat on the point, and as they got close, I just did this, and just knocked them out of the point until I capped it.
It was there, and it was also Gibraltar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
funny.
one of the most funny things, because you know they're fucking pissed, like, God damn it, all that was right there, I could just...
Yeah.
I love
off
just
the point.
denying them.
We should play on PC sometime.
Yeah.
I'm a lot better on PC.
Are you?
Oh, like astronomically.
What
better.
level what are you at right now?
Multiplying by 1 isn't. You're like, I'm 10 times better, so you're 10 instead of 1.
I was gonna say 0.
I think I'm level 10 or 11.
Okay. I think I just hit 9
I'm 19
this morning.
or 18 or something.
Yeah, I'm a lot more useful, I found.
I swear I love aiming. I love shooting on the PC. But as far as using my abilities and timing it, I'm so used to the certain fingers moving for it
Yeah.
that when my hand's on the keyboard, the same fingers twitch, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
I get that too, because it's all around this.
Yeah.
I guess I could probably. It's pretty good with letting you pick buttons. I'm sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can reassign and stuff,
But I'm trying to figure out the best thing for me.
Yeah, why don't you do
My
why don't you
dumbass-
do 2WE?
My dumbass reassigned to... So I have my Naga mouse. I reassigned everything straight to the Naga mouse. But I'm still... those certain fingers are still twitching on the other
Yeah.
hand. So as I'm like trying to remember to use my thumb for everything, these hands are doing stuff, so I'm getting used to where the buttons are over here while I'm trying to just use this. So
Yeah.
I need to unmap something so that I'm not trying to hit the same ability on the same hand.
It's a weird pro and con, because the controller is so ergonomic.
Yeah.
It's like your fingers are naturally there, whereas the keyboard you kind of have to like lean in
I
or
think-
keep your hand like gnarled to get it right.
Yeah.
But the aiming is just
But I think, you know
There's no
what, though?
comparison.
It seems like it's just maybe a, just getting used to it thing. 'Cause
I-
you're so used to
Yeah, I
control.
mean, yeah.
Yeah,
So
honestly, the Naga with playing World of Warcraft, I had everything mapped and like I had a shift modifier on the mouse. I could play one-handed. I was using like 36 buttons on my mouse,
Right.
and I was perfectly fine. But I played that game for 12 years, 11 years, whatever. I just need to spend more time on Overwatch on PC. My biggest issue is I like to lay down and play. I do not like... so right now my computer chair is a drum throne.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there like playing like, all right, got to keep the back straight, because then once I start slouching, I'm just like, my back starts to hurt and I can't play for more than like a half hour.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I need to get a good computer chair, or I need to figure out how to lay down and play. Like just, all right, let's do this.
oh, and then JD lays on you.
Yeah, this is how I fell asleep last night.
This is how you
Get on the point! I think I found it. Is this the point? Is this the G point?
No,
Well,
God.
Well, JD used to say things like when Farah is in the air, she's susceptible to things,
Mhm.
and I never quite understood it on the PS4. So I'd be like, I still can't hit her. Like I can't. Like she's moving around too fast. But on the PC, it makes perfect sense. It's like, oh my god, you're absolutely right. Like once the Farah's in there, I
Oh my
literally just
god,
aim
my
up
gun
there
can't shoot her.
and right. So I mean, maybe some people are really good with the controller, but for me, there's no. I'm way more efficient.
Yeah, because
I was playing. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say you never really played many FPSs just in general, right?
No.
So that's also maybe a bit of your issue is that you don't know how to use a controller to play FPSs.
Yeah, that could be it.
But you're getting better.
Yeah, this morning I was playing Capture the Flag. I was basically patching everything for a LAN party that we're doing for Overwatch tonight. was patching up a bunch of stuff, and I was like, I'll just log in and maybe just get a little reacquainted with the game before tonight, and I suck. When everyone else there has been like, I'm level 200, and I'm sitting there at level 8 like, I play this game a lot, I swear I know what I'm doing. So I picked up Anna, and we're playing Capture the Flag, and we needed a healer. And we had all short range characters. We had like Genji has his long range, but it's
basically a sniper with that bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't think there's damage drop off. Yeah, there isn't. I don't think so either.
I was in a sniper battle with Genji yesterday. I was furious, like screaming at my computer.
How?
So the issue with the team that I was playing is that I was the only hit scan hero as Anna. So there's a Pharah up in the air, and I was like, shit, I gotta take care of this. And I was thinking to myself, like, fuck, this Pharah is gonna kill us before I get... Oh, nope, I killed her. Like, it was like literally click, click, click. 3 clicks, and I killed her, and I was like, all right, moving on. Like, I didn't miss, I just hit her and moved on. Yeah. She was not an issue whatsoever.
That's so good.
But on console, Pharah, good Pharah that's like moving around and stuff, she's a lot more difficult to hit. In console, a good Pharah.
Yeah, like all the game seems to be more balanced for whatever reason in my head. It seems to be more balanced on a PC.
So they do have different balancing patches for PC versus console. Mm-hmm. There's certain characters that have different things. I think Torbjorn's turrets are faster.
Target acquisition is better for
PC.
For Torbjorn's turrets, they hurt more. They have the same amount of health, I think. Symmetra's turrets hurt more. They have the same amount of health, but they hurt more. And something else. But yeah.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of different balancing going back and forth. Because I will say, I got killed by Torbjorn's turret as Anna. I was shooting at it. And I was like, on console, I can shoot at a turret and kill it before it can kill me. And I'm sitting there and I'm just like, la, 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 shoot this thing, and I can grab the flag and run. The thing killed me. And I was sitting there like, I had full health, didn't I?
I'm God.
Didn't I?
Yeah.
I'm so God.
I didn't even. I had my grenade to heal myself. I just didn't even think about using it because on console I could kill the thing before it could kill me.
All right.
So I wasn't even really worried about it.
Yeah, it's like, hey, Blizzard, I died. What happened?
I'm gonna say
your game is broken.
It's fighting a Torbjorn and I died.
Like G10 for this?
All right, so what else happened this week? Anybody got any more news? I have some news stories, but
all
right, just go.
Start.
Did anybody hear about Netflix?
Nope.
No.
The new TV show?
Oh, Castlevania.
Yeah. You know what? Good for them. I think this is gonna be great.
It's a Netflix original?
Yeah. Netflix original. They're bringing Castlevania to the small screen.
So, explain. Like, do we have any kind of trailer or anything?
Nope. Just
nothing.
Announcement.
It's just been announced as one of the shows coming up soon.
Mm-hmm.
Castlevania.
I'm a little worried that they're gonna turn it into a vampire story of like.
Yeah, that's a real concern.
Because it's a vampire story.
Well, I'm concerned that it's going to be like a
story.
drama and not like action based. Like,
I heard it was bloodied. That was the thing that they said it was going to be gory.
That's good.
That's good.
So if they take the Castlevania aspect and they make it into that sort of like Bloodborne-y kind of, it'll be fine.
As long as there's one scene in which someone punches into a wall and there's a chicken in there, I'll be happy.
Or Dracula throws a glass.
Yeah. What is a man?
Yeah, I guess my thing is, why do they make video game movies for games that are so out of the mainstream? Always. They always do this.
What are you talking about? Resident Evil launched today.
Okay, well that's lucky.
What about Blood Rain? That was a legend.
But for the longest time, Resident Evil was pretty far out, and they kept making those horrible Resident Evil movies, and now it's back in, so that's fine.
No, that's
but that Resident Evil.
And to your point, they waited 7 years to do the Warcraft movie, like when it wasn't popular.
Right. Warcraft had at one point 13 million subscribers. You couldn't make the Warcraft movie then. You had to make it when it's down to like 5.
Assassin's Creed.
They went.
Yeah.
The year that
they didn't even release.
Doesn't mean it wasn't popular. I mean, the Ezio collection, man, that was legendary.
I guess
it was awesome.
But it's just so strange to me that they do that. And then they're like, let's release a Castlevania TV show. Like, the year after Konami decided to put the middle finger to everybody and say, we don't make games anymore. Like,
And guess what? People are excited.
Yeah.
The odd part there for me is that, like, a lot of people on Netflix, like, the Netflix originals have been really great.
Yeah.
I will say that they've been doing a great job with them. Mm-hmm. People are going to check out this thing and they're going to be like, oh, this is cool. This show, have you seen Castlevania? Castlevania is the orange is the new black. Like,
yeah.
They're going to be like raving about it and be like, oh yeah, it's based on a video game. Did you know that? And they're going to be like, I don't care. Like,
shut up, nerd!
Yeah, dude, I get that a lot at work.
Dude, what?
I get that a lot.
I didn't know that still existed.
Yeah.
Did he give you swirlies too?
They try to.
Once.
It's like, wait, this nerd's actually strong!
Is that nerd strength? Oh, God. He's nerd raging.
His power level, it's over 9,000!
That is so weird that people would say... Like, why do they say that? What do you prompt them to say that?
So
you rave about Dragon Ball, don't you?
So I was talking to somebody in a complete different conversation, and I was sitting there talking about Dragon Ball Super, and I was like, "Hey, do you think that this week they're going to do something with Beerus? Like, is there going to be rules on the tournament that if they lose, that just God of Destruction's destroyed along with the universe?"
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I just hear from over the wall, their conversation stops and goes, "Are you guys talking about Dragon Ball Z? Will you leave the room if you're going to do that?" And it was like, God damn. No, I won't. I have to listen to you talk about your sweaty vagina all day.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
It's talking to
And then
another
else
man.
your boss is just like, yes, her boss. She just looks up with a keyboard.
Farmer! I guess I would probably say something similar, so I guess I shouldn't.
You're a nerd.
Well, you're a bad person.
I did. Oh, here's a good one, video game related. Friday, I got a banner, right, of a video game,
Okay.
a well-loved video game we mentioned a moment ago.
Okay.
And I put the banner up on my cubicle.
Cool.
And they walk in and they're like, "If this is Dragon Ball Z related, you need to take this down." And I was
Why?
like, "No, it's not actually. It's World of Warcraft for the Horde."
Wait. First of all, why if it's Dragon Ball Z?
They just give me a hard time.
Oh, okay.
And then I started to walk away, and I left the room, and I come back, and they're all talking about how my Horde logo is a swastika.
What?
They're like, "This is a swastika, isn't it?" And I'm like, "Nope." And it was kind of that weird moment of like, are we being serious? Or are you joking? Like, do you really think that I would bring a swastika in here? And it's that whole thing that video games are not mainstream, and a lot of our enjoyment and story and lore and the worlds that are in these games are not mainstream. So a lot of people, they just look at it like something they don't know. Much like if I walked into half the world, like if I walked into a makeup store,
Right.
I wouldn't know what brand is good. I wouldn't
Shopping. All right. Yeah.
I wouldn't know what brand is good. I wouldn't know what to buy somebody. I'd have to go ask questions and stuff. But do I sit there and talk crap about it and say this is stupid? Do I walk into it's a Super Bowl and sit there and go and watch football with people and be like, "Football's stupid. You guys are retarded."
But
I can't.
You also got to remember that it's also where you're at. So in that case, if you're at the Super Bowl saying football's stupid, you know,
Probably gonna get jumped.
yeah, you're in the wrong environment. Like if someone was at E3 and was like, "Games are dumb," it's like,
Right,
get the
yeah.
fuck out of here.
But I mean, even just
I
in
know
a
what you're
lot
saying.
of different aspects, like I wouldn't walk in like. I wouldn't look at something and be like, "Oh, you got a blue shirt. Blue shirts are stupid."
Hey.
But you're like, "I love this shirt. Like, this is a great shirt. It looks good."
But don't you think there's something fun about putting people down?
No, you dick.
Oh, no? Nothing fun about that? Okay.
What is wrong with you?
Oh.
I had my one this week. I had my one fun moment of making fun of somebody for the year.
What'd you do?
There was a guy who's in his like 40, 45-ish or whatever.
1 foot in the grave.
Yeah. 45 years old. And he's got frosted tips,
Ooh.
but then it cuts off at like the back of his head. It just stops. And he recently had a haircut because all of his lines were fresh. And then he's got a balding spot in the back of his head that's probably about like that big.
Oh.
There's balding, huh?
George Costanza.
He's got this big balding spot, and then he's got his frosted tips and stuff, and then he's wearing a famous Stars and Straps t-shirt.
Stars and Stripes.
Huh?
Stripes. You said straps.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Straps.
Stripes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I will. Troy used to wear that shit all the time.
So he's wearing that t-shirt and stuff, and I'm sitting there just like,
Yeah.
like it was. I rarely ever do that. Do I ever
Just
see
got
someone
roasted.
and kind of just laugh at him? But it was one of those moments where I was like, "You are trying very hard."
Yeah, just like,
Like-
look at your boy.
Yeah.
Come at him.
I think if his hair wasn't frosted, if he didn't have the little bleach spots all over his head and like perfect like checkered patterns,
Yeah.
everything else would have been fine.
I think you.
I wouldn't have looked. I wouldn't even have thought anything of it. But because he bleached his hair and was wearing a 20-year-old's t-shirt and also like the weird, just the bald spot and all that stuff, it just made it hilarious. You got a little sidetrack there.
I got a little bit more news for you.
Video games.
Adventure.
Activision, we all love them, right?
Yeah,
Activision.
not bad.
On occasion.
Not the worst people in the world. Like
Activision Publishing have laid off 5% of their workforce,
God dang.
even though they've recorded record sales.
Right. So, but that's common
Mm-hmm.
because once a game sells, there's nothing to work on, so they need to reduce workforce.
Yeah.
Right.
Then they hire it back when they start their next project.
Yeah. It's a little crappy, I guess, in a way for, the people. But
Yes. Yeah.
It's the industry.
Yeah. Can't really blame them.
Yeah.
Blind.
So it's just a good wake-up call to know how the industry kind of works right now. It's kind of, I mean, not all developers do that, but I think the big
Enough
ones,
of them.
the big ones probably do, like Ubisoft and Activision. Will, like you guys said, clean house after a big release. Wait till
Rich.
you need them again.
Good job, everybody. We're finished with the project. You're fired. You're fired.
I think it like
Get your fucking thing.
Yeah.
I think at a certain point though that like for that there's a lot of contract work that they're letting go. I don't know if they consider that into their numbers of people
Yeah,
being
Like
fired.
temp jobs.
Yeah, temp and contract
If
work.
you're just a playtester, then
Right.
Yeah.
Then there's no need for
Well,
you.
there's no game to play.
Get out.
leave right now.
Sorry.
It's the end of you and me. JoJo, anybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
I don't know that one yet.
I thought you was going to
Yet.
continue.
JoJo.
Yeah.
I've been
What's
working
our
on
adventure?
Fairy Tale.
Hmm?
I've been watching Fairy Tale.
You've been playing watching?
Have you watched
Playing
it?
watching.
What's Fairy
Not
Tale?
It's a fairy.
Fairy Tale is like Naruto but with wizards, magic instead of ninjas.
Let's focus on games.
Yeah.
So they let off their workforce. What now, Spence? What can they do to get back on the workforce?
Make their own indie game.
Oh
It's
God! Do not talk to me about indie right now.
Make
Why
mobile
not?
games.
Let's talk about fucking indie real quick, huh?
Uh-oh.
Hey, well,
Woo-hoo! So there is a
Unintentional segue.
there is a group of people
okay.
whom I'm familiar with.
It's called Gaggle.
Fuck that ultimate. Oh God.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, what is that?
Oh God. Give that a fucking rest. Anyway.
Are we looking at his penis?
Yes.
No. Yes.
Yes.
Wait, my camera's got zoom.
These people.
You're gonna need it.
Shut up! These people that are part of this organization that I'm familiar with, and I'm going to try and use as little names as possible because,
How about use no names?
yeah, no names. That's as little as possible. They get together every now and again. They talk about video games.
Okay.
The thing about these individuals is
On stream.
they do
I'll take you to the
this
story.
when they talk about video games.
Oh.
They do this to gaming, but they talk about video games. So that's interesting, right? And you guys may be asking, what the fuck does that mean?
What is
No, I actually understand.
I'm saying what? What
They
fuck
does that mean?
does that mean?
Here's the thing.
It's bullshit.
Video games are like
Fuck.
the gaming industry can be
Confused.
can be compared to fashion,
Yeah.
right? When the newest trends come out, you got to be on the up and up. Even if you're kind of making your own clothing, you kind of have to understand the landscape.
Right.
What are people buying? What are people into?
People are into them all.
What are you buying? What are you selling? You know?
People really like Battleborn.
That's a lot. So,
Yeah, that was fucked up.
but right now,
Who's fucking?
people like mobile shit, right? For instance,
Yeah, yeah.
right? They like seeing their famous fucking games getting turned into mobile. We got 2 different Pokemon games that are,
You got Mario.
I guess, popular. You got your Marios,
You
you
got
Got
this
your
Fire Emblem.
Emblem.
got your Flume, you got your fucking Tomb Raider and Hitman Go.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got your Yu-Gi-Oh. Some of these games can actually work on this.
Oh my
medium.
god, Yu-Gi-Oh!
Did you play it yet?
I played it. My first match was Seto Kaiba versus Beth.
I took it. I
I
gave
wonder how
her.
this is
I
gonna
gave her the
go.
blue eyes white dragon.
It's my blue eyes.
Blue balls white dragon. Blue balls white spum.
Yeah, Beth didn't know it hit her.
Yeah. And with that, your hit points are yours. So, back to the Shadow Realm. Which is just an orgy of black people in the back.
Pretty much.
So, sorry, man. So, here's the thing. Is you can't do that. Okay, and I've thought about this, and I brought it up to other people, is if I am a football player,
Right?
and I'm looking at how the game is played,
Yeah.
that allows me to kind of create my own style, right? That allows me to be like, okay, let me contour to it.
Right.
Because ultimately, you're still headed down that path. You're just kind of contouring. You're headed down in that direction. You're just taking your own path. I need to know what the best plays that some of these guys are. I need to read the defense so I can counter it. Ultimately, that's what a lot of like gaming is. Is like if you're trying to come out with the next best thing, you have to counter what's already out. Mm-hmm. So whether that be you release an indie game that is really just fun, you make it yourself about blocks and shit, or if you make a huge game, or if you or you do Resident Evil, and you just go fuck it, it's first person now, deal with it. That's countering the market, sort of, in that sense. Like, you're getting something that people haven't gotten enough of, or that people didn't know they wanted, but you kind of had that idea. So these guys, when they're talking, had a discussion about Dark Souls.
Dark Souls?
Dark Souls and Demon Souls.
Okay.
And the thing that I found interesting about that was they ran it into the ground.
Whoa. Why?
And they said it was poor game design.
How?
Dark Souls?
Dark Souls and Demon Souls.
The series or just the first ones?
Well, they just referenced those.
Okay.
So, which
Wait,
means they haven't even said.
Who are these people again?
I'll tell you off.
I mean, who
Like
who
in
are
general.
they to you? Yeah.
Like
They are indie developers.
local jerks or real jerks?
Online
Call me,
jerks?
call me.
Okay.
Wow.
Again, off stream.
This is making me sad.
Yeah. It's sad for the fucking indie market. And you wonder, oh, everyone's indie, all these creative thoughts. No. People are fucking, they succumb to this bullshit. Here's the issue. We have a situation in which you have have people bashing something that's popular and it's bad reasoning too, and I'll go into that in a second. You don't really know why you're upset at it. You don't even know why it's shit. You're just being like, well, I think it's dumb how you have to die to learn. You mean like fucking games back in the day?
Right.
You mean like fucking Ninja Gaiden?
Right. And
Orders.
like,
Mega Man?
even Mario Brothers, it's not like when you first start the game, it's like, okay, I know exactly what the fuck I'm doing with this Firefly. Everything's getting lit up. And it's like, no, you're gonna fucking lose that thing instantly.
Yeah.
But then you're gonna learn.
And you know the funny thing is, you could probably give them Super Meat Boy and they'd be like, oh my gosh, it's just the pinnacle of gaming. And it has the same feature.
What's
Right.
the
To learn
logic?
from your mistake. So here's the thing. These guys they used an example in Demon Souls. You play Demon Souls?
Yes.
You beat it?
No.
Nope.
So Demon Souls, right? FromSoft's first foray into hard as tits gaming. So like sandbag hard. So There's a part where this gentleman, you can release him from a coffin or from a chained up area. His name is, I don't think his name is Mephistopheles. It might be. Or something. You release him and he goes, "Thank you. I appreciate it." Really shady character. You release him. If you let him go, he goes back to the main hub. Every time you go back to the hub, another person is dead. You don't know why, but it's actually him. He's killing one person at a time. He's a mass
Fucking
murderer.
spoiler alert. Jesus Christ.
Spoiler for a 10-year-old game now?
I was gonna play it.
Eventually.
You know what? I love that you said that. I love that you went there. I hate motherfuckers like that.
Side note. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, I'll go back to that.
Things that make you sad.
Things
No,
that make
no.
you go.
No.
So, here's the thing: is when you get to that point in the game, you're pretty far, and then this guy's going around killing everybody. He can't kill the main girl that upgrades
Gives
you
you
because she keeps coming back.
Really?
She'll keep coming back. She'll be like, "Hey, what the fuck?"
Well, does she tell him? Hey.
No, he'll tell you. He'll be in town and he'll be like, "Yeah, I killed everybody,"
Why?
and he could potentially fuck up your
Yeah.
game.
Does he give you a reason? He just likes it?
I think he's a bounty hunter,
Oh.
something like that, and he's just getting bounties.
Okay, that's good.
From Mephistopheles, so it's not Mephistopheles. But anyway, so he goes, "That's poor game design because they don't warn you in the game about that at all.
Okay.
They go, it's complete bullshit. You have no idea what's going on, and your game is ruined if you fall for a beginner's trap." And it's kind of interesting because technically, no. The one thing that they left out and they never mentioned, I was expecting them to talk about, or at least the other guy to rebuttal, is signs in the game. You can drop signs. So that game still has an online multiplayer presence. You can drop signs going, "Don't fucking trust this guy."
Right.
But no one mentions that.
Yeah, but think about the very first guy. And even if that's the case, like, say you were the very first guy to go to this guy. This not going to be the sign.
Wait, question: Does it fuck up your game?
Yeah, because he's killing, like,
So it doesn't.
emotions.
The only things that it actually ultimately prevents is you can't buy certain items anymore.
Yeah, so...
Who cares?
That's upgrade items
No,
that
no.
you can find in the world. But pretty sure you can still use your storage. I think, and you can still level up.
But it doesn't prevent you from beating the game.
Doesn't prevent you from beating the game.
Well, who cares?
Yeah.
Well, it just makes it easier. And
But millions of games do that.
yeah, but imagine someone who's not good at the game or is progressing normally and just like, all right, I need to upgrade my weapon. And then he can't upgrade his weapon. He's like, all right, well, I'm fine. But now these enemies are getting harder. They're getting more health. The boss are
But
getting...
did you say you can find them in the field?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't use them. Can you?
Yeah. So
You
I'm
can
talking
use
about
them on the
upgrading
field?
items. Like you can pick up like Titanite. Yeah. Okay,
But
cool.
I didn't know you can apply them yourself.
There's a blacksmith that's out in one
See,
of the
that's what I'm
areas.
saying. I don't remember this game.
So yeah. So you can do that. And yeah, you're right. It doesn't actually stop the game. It's just you're being picky about it.
Like in Dragon Quest 8, just played it. They have the alchemy system and you can build weapons. There's some weapons that you need one specific item for, and if you use it, I mean, you're kind of screwed.
You can't make that weapon anymore.
So, I mean, nobody told me that.
But
And
am
I
flipping
lost
out?
that weapon. Doesn't mean I can't beat the game. It just means that weapon I don't have access to. I should have been smarter. Maybe I got to replay it.
Mhm.
Maybe that's a reason to replay a game. Maybe that's adding replayability to it.
Yeah.
Or
Or maybe that's actually imprinting in you some sort of think before you act kind of mentality.
Right, exactly. Punishment.
Yeah, there's all that shit that's kind of placed in there.
Shining Force was a game that had the same concept where you had a material that can only be that you could sell for a lot of money, or you could use it later in the game to make the best weapons in the game. I learned from that game, don't sell shit until you know exactly what it's used for.
It's the rainbow fucking sword.
Yeah, in Chrono Trigger.
Same concept.
You get one rainbow shard. You can use it on the sword, or you can use it to make little items. It's up to you. But you can't have both.
Yep.
Unless you play the game again.
There's nothing wrong with that, unless it literally prevents you from winning the game. From beating it, winning, I don't know, whatever. Unless it literally prevents you from beating the game, what's the point?
Yeah. It doesn't make sense. But that brings me to kind of my next point, and it was a shitty fucking discussion. I remember watching it, and I was just like, oh my god. Brings me to my next point. So I saw this thing on Game Rant, and I wanted to bring it up to you guys. It shows a picture of 4 different games, okay? It has Last of Us.
Okay.
It has Skyrim.
Okay.
It has The Witcher.
Which one? The
3.
first one?
3.
Oh, Witcher 3. Okay.
And then it has. Here's another game. There's 4 games in there.
Another good one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a good classic. What's
Like
a good?
Fallout or something?
It might. Yeah, I think it was actually.
Fallout 4.
And the subtitle reads, "We don't need good multiplayer. We need good stories." I wanted to bring that up to you guys because I have an absolute opinion. I think I talked to Rosie about this already. But what is your opinion in that regard? I already know what
Why
you're
not
gonna say.
both?
Well, I mean, yeah, but if you had to choose between one,
I would choose a good story, but I mean, there's games that are good at multiplayer and there's
That's
games that
exactly
are
what I
good
was
at
gonna say.
story.
It's like it depends on my mood. Do I want to play with friends? Then multiplayer. But
Right.
it just depends.
Why not
only,
both?
If you could only make one game
It would definitely be.
and you could
single
only
player.
choose between one or the other,
I think
having a
I-
good story and multiplayer.
Yeah, I'd pick a single player story game.
If there was only one game in the entire world,
Well, come on, don't try
no,
to make it
no,
literal.
no. I'm just saying, if there's only one game in the entire world, would you want to be able to play it with people or play it by yourself?
Well, in that regard, yeah, it'd be multiplayer. If I could make one game, it'd be a story game. If there was only one game, it'd have to be multiplayer because of the replayability.
Okay, all right. Let's rephrase the question. What does the industry need?
Everything.
Everything. But if you had to choose between story or multiplayer, what do you think?
Multiplayer.
Multiplayer easily.
Right now, I would say the industry needs better story. I think there's plenty of multiplayer games out there. There's Overwatch, there's League of
Battleborn.
Legends, there's plenty of games. There's Destiny, there's World of Warcraft, there's Final Fantasy 14. There's tons of games for multiplayer. Tons of games for me to play with my friends that make it very easy, that give us an objective, that gives us rewards as a group, that require an excessive amount of team effort, that require very little team effort, and just you're there goofing around with your friends. There's tons of multiplayer right now.
You're right. There's a lot of staples out there.
As far as story goes, one, it's hard because I think if you put story into Overwatch, I wouldn't play another game.
Why?
I'd be completely content with getting more and more story out of a game that I have multiplayer in and I'm playing tons of. But then you look at, like, Last of Us. I loved that story. I hated the gameplay. I struggled so hard to get through that game because I did not like the gameplay. I think it's a really difficult question.
So,
I would say, I mean, your question's weird because what does the gaming industry need more or what does it need more now?
what would you rather... Because...
Because I think in general it needs multiplayer. In general.
Okay. Yeah, I'm talking about
In-
more of this generation.
Like, what it needs right now is
Yeah.
tough. I think people overrate story. I don't think it's as important as people...
At
Claim it is?
the end of the day, it's all about experience.
Yeah, it's just
the experience you get from the game.
Story is only part of a video game experience.
Right.
For a movie or a book or something, it's a lot more important.
Mm-hmm.
But for a game, it only goes so far.
Right. Like, have you ever? Well, you just mentioned like you beat Last of Us because of the story, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like, have you guys done that? Like, has the story ever been just so driven for you two that you had to play a game and beat it, despite how bad it was, or how much you were enjoying
No,
the
I've
game?
never played a game that, and for the story, alone. Well, I guess I should say a long game. I mean, I've played a
Single
Raider.
sit down.
what's that crappy
Firewatch.
Firewatch? Yeah, the gameplay wasn't great,
Oh, the
but it
scene thing.
wasn't terrible. I'll say Life is Strange is the closest that I've come to that, where I just needed to know what the story was going to be. I didn't love the story, to be honest, but the gameplay was even... I don't know. That'd probably be the closest to that.
Oh wow, maybe.
Me-
I
Mediocrity.
KOTOR, too. I didn't like KOTOR 2 when I first started playing it.
Oh wow.
I really didn't like it.
It was buggy.
But yeah.
KOTOR 2 was buggy.
KOTOR 2 was buggy, and that was the first one I played. And I remember going through and being like, fuck this game. But you know what? I was like, I better get a fucking lightsaber.
Right.
Got my lightsaber, and then I was like, alright, this game's figured out.
This game's alright.
Let's get it out of it. You
I
know?
know. Just yep. Here
But
we
yeah,
go.
no,
Have
gameplay. The story is so overshadowed by gameplay. It's not important.
Right.
Like in comparison.
So I went into the comment section of that particular post, just kind of look around, get an idea of what's going on. And a majority of what I heard was people going, story is what keeps you going, multiplayer is mindless. And I thought, I thought about that, right? And you gotta try and see from their perspective. One of the things that I thought was interesting is, and you mentioned it, why not both, is in a sense where you can have a narrative or some sort of lore that is able to fit the multiplayer aspect, that's even better. Right? Last of Us, back to that. You only play as the scavengers and the fireflies. You don't play as Joel, you don't play as Ellie. And it's a very potential real situation, which that happens. If you look at Overwatch, they say none of these events actually happen. None of these battles actually happen. It's literally like you playing with a toy chest.
Yeah.
That's the way they say it. And that's fine, because the lore's what kind of keeps you going. Or you're like, oh, imagine what these people would say to each other. Anna and, like, Widow, they're probably not going to see each other again. Or, well, maybe. But, I mean, like, if you have Reaper and Tracer on the same team, fuck off. They would never be on the same team. Or Widow, for that matter. They wouldn't be on the same team. But it's nice to hear their interaction. That's kind of that world-building thing, because you go, oh, wow, I learned more about that character in this hypothetical situation. This is what they'd say.
Like, one of the things is before, I didn't see many trailers for Overwatch, but learning that Roadhog and Junkrat were actually kind of buddies at some point, or associated with each other.
They're associates, yeah.
Because, because their little dialogue they have with each other was just like, oh, okay, that's cool. And that tells me a little bit about them, that they actually worked together in some regards.
I guess I just don't understand why somebody has to put down part of gaming. Like, I can see
that's
them
our fucking nature, though.
putting down things in gaming, but not, like, concepts. Like, why put down multiplayer and say that?
Because
that's so mean.
It's cool to be like that, because it's like, look how many games come out right now that have, awful multiplayer or whatever the case is. So, right? If you look at that, you have to look at it in the sense of like, what are the most recent multiplayer games that came out? Okay, we've got Overwatch,
Titanfall.
we've got Titanfall,
For Honor is coming out.
We got For Honor, but it has a single player story. But yeah, still.
Oh, solo,
sure.
you mean?
Titanfall is a single player story too, but I'm just saying, if you look at it from that concept, people like to think they have this grasp from their limited perspective of what's going on as far as gaming. Because I know all the AAA companies are releasing this. Does that mean that's what's popular? No. Are people going to buy it though? Yeah, but is that what we actually want? We don't even know what we want half the time until someone comes out and they give us a sleeper hit and we go, whoa, what? When freaking Demon Souls came out, when it initially came out, and freaking Sony freaking the PlayStation president Shuhei Yoshida, is that right?
Yeah.
Flat out said he regretted not publishing.
Yeah.
Atlas
published it, right?
Yeah, Atlas published it because they're like, fuck it, yeah, it's Japanese made. We'll do anything really.
Yeah.
And then from that point on, Sony's like, hey, Bloodborne, it's going to you, alright, got you. They made sure.
But you denied us the Demon Souls.
Come in the side. No, but seriously, like when you look at stuff like that, that was a sleeper hit, and then it didn't gain traction until people started playing it enough and going, "Hey, did you know you can do blank to do blank?" What? Oh, I haven't seen games that do that in a while. That don't really have a strategy guide or a direction. You're just kind of going through the phases.
And not only that, just talking to people about the game, or like trying to figure out things from other people, like the community that game
create
built.
discussion.
Yeah, it creates so much. Like talking about Dark Souls and be like, hey, like, okay, so I'm at this part. I have nowhere where to go. Oh, I'm there too. So this is what you gotta do, right? You gotta go down here. You gotta stab that tree in the face, and then the tree man's gonna actually turn into a real monster. It's like, what? How'd you know that? I don't know. I was just slashing at it.
Yeah, you got that one guy that actually experimented and found it out. But the thing is no one knew that's what we wanted. Right. No one knew that you could make a franchise out of that. It's just someone gave it a shot. Hey, this is what we're going to develop. Hopefully it comes out good. And then that's kind of how gaming is. And being able to actually take advantage of something and to release a title that, like, there's other titles like it, but yours is the definitive, is hard.
Right.
Like, I mean, in my personal opinion, I still think Outlast was pretty scary. All things considered. Yeah. But some people will go, Resident Evil 7 is the best of the first-person shooter, first-person horror games. And, hey, maybe it is. Maybe it's the one that did it right. But at the same time, like, that doesn't happen all the time. And it doesn't do any good for you, kind of going back to the indie thing, to kind of shut that stuff out and create what you think the world needs. Because one of these guys was a developer of a first-person indie horror. It wasn't good. I think Markiplier...
Was it Rake?
No.
Okay.
Wait. No.
No.
But it was close. And I think I know the name of it.
It was Rake-ish.
Yeah, no, actually it was. It was Rake-ish.
It was Rake-ish, yeah.
Yeah. And
Oh, man.
rake your eyes out, ish.
Was raked.
Stupid.
Okay.
So,
Watch my review.
but give me a view. But that's the thing is like we don't look at. We can't just ignore the industry and go, I'm gonna make what I want and people are gonna like it. Because people don't fucking care. Especially if there's someone that's already done something that you've already done and you're like, oh, this is gonna be a great idea. Well, guess what? Fucking Capcom or whatever made it already. You just have to fucking deal.
Again, I just don't understand why you would put down like an entire genre of gaming. Just be like, again, I understand that there's parts of it that are bad, but to just say multiplayer is brainless is bonkers to me. Is League of Legends brainless?
No. I'm more engaged.
I mean, is Overwatch brainless?
No.
No, it's a game of balance. It's a game of determining like what strengths go into what part, what positioning your team needs based on what characters you have.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could say Call of Duty isn't even brainless.
No.
None of these games are brainless.
It's all about, in Call of Duty, a lot of it, and correct me if I'm wrong here, is about probability. Is a guy probably going to come through that wall?
Yeah.
Am I able to reload? Can I kill him?
I heard gunshots over there. Probably someone's going to come running this way. I better be careful. Run up. There he is. Bam. Shoot him.
Yeah.
If Call of Duty is brainless, find the best Call of Duty player and 1v1 him. If you lose, I'm just saying.
There's got to be
You
something
have
different.
less than brains.
Yeah, are you less intelligent than that person is? Maybe. Probably if you're an idiot, like asshole like that. But
Yeah.
like it's just so dumb that people have to put like you could say the constant reuse that you only have one item in Call of Duty or there's one main weapon in Call of Duty is dumb. Okay, maybe that's an idea that's dumb. But to say that the whole genre is dumb or is brainless, which is basically the same thing as saying dumb, it's just so silly to me.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe lazy in its inception or the continuation of the series. But, I mean,
They haven't been playing multiplayer games lately. Lately, multiplayer's done some amazing things.
Yeah.
Like, Overwatch is such a great thing. Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time.
I've heard about it.
We should probably try to play that game. I mean, I know we say there's a million games we should play. But that game's where you have 4 people that have to control a spaceship. And they have different parts of it. And you like some people activate the shield, some people activate
What's that game?
Astroneers.
No.
Star
What's the
Trek?
game where everyone's cooking?
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Overcooked?
Overcooked.
Yeah.
Overcooked.
Man, that game is not brainless at all.
What a fun experience to say, and to have people. And there are so many
Shit on
indie
it,
games
yeah.
out there that are multiplayer that are fun. Salt and Sanctuary is multiplayer. Like,
Yeah.
so many.
And honestly, I don't give a fuck about the story.
Yeah, who gives a
It's
shit?
just the what's it called fun.
Like, to just shit on all of them like that is just so dumb.
Well, and it's the one thing I thought about when I looked at that is they're ultimately saying gameplay that can be shared amongst friends or just a story being told to you. I'm like, well, what do you come to a game for? You don't come to a game for a story. You come to a game for a gameplay. If you come to a game for a story, you're looking at the wrong medium. Because
Well-
ultimately, it doesn't require it.
What about adventure games?
Okay, Mario.
No, he means point and click.
Oh.
Telltale.
Yeah.
Honestly speaking, those can be done without any input at all, and they would still have the same effect.
Right.
You're telling me you would care more because I got to be the person that killed this guy during a zombie apocalypse? No.
I think it's more about the choice to kill that.
Okay, fine. Treat it like a DVD menu. I hit left, I make one choice. I hit right, I make another choice. There doesn't even need to be.
And we're not putting it down.
No, not putting
We're just
it down.
saying that the input on those games is very low. It doesn't make it worse or better. It's just that's a story game. It doesn't need that. Gaming doesn't need to be that way.
Yeah, gaming
to be
doesn't need to be. Yeah, and a lot of people look at that and they'll be like, "What doesn't work in film, ironically enough, works great in gaming." People will look at. Okay, so I'm going to see John Wick 2 tonight. But if you look at the first John Wick, they kill his dog. He's upset. He's going to shoot people.
Yeah.
Amazing game. 10 out of 10 probably. Or not 10 out of 10, but depending on how it handles, right?
Yeah.
It's ultimately Max Payne.
I was gonna say Hitman.
Well, I mean,
No, Hitman's way different.
Hitman's more about like being calculated and shit. is nothing like the movie. but the thing is if you compare...
This movie calculated low. Box office.
I hit it. but that's the thing is when you look at that, it's like Max Payne ultimately. It's going to work in a game because you don't have to worry too much about the story. Killed my dog. I'm fucking pissed. I'm going to kill you. And we constantly get that level of entertainment going because I'm going to a new room. There's new guys to kill. There's new item to pick up. There's more progression as far as I'm in a different environment now. Like all that shit.
Hotline Miami.
Hotline Miami. There you go. Exactly. That's the perfect example. And it's all top down. You can't make a movie like that. You can't make a movie with that limited amount of story. And it's okay. But don't try and crossbreed them and be like, I don't know, visual art needs to have more implied motion to be taken seriously. No, it doesn't. Games don't need to have some incredible story to be taken seriously as a real medium. They need to do what they offer that no other medium does and just do that well. People take Mario seriously. Guess what? There's no fucking story there. Or there's a narrative. Save the princess.
Good enough.
Overall objective, yeah. You're in a kingdom. You're ultimately killing the inhabitants, but we don't talk about that.
Yeah. I wonder if even if you were not told that you had to save the princess, would people play it? I bet they would.
Probably.
It's just fun. It's just a fun game.
It's like, fuck, I'll get from point A to point B.
Yeah.
Because look how fucking crisp these controls are.
Right.
You know? Look at this momentum thing that some people don't like.
Right.
That are sitting right next to me. But, hey, whatever.
It's bullshit.
But that's the thing. And when people go, games need, like, story, what makes you so sure? If you had 50 games that came out that had amazing stories, would that suddenly change gaming? Would that make gaming better than what it is? No, it'd make it more like movies, more like books, more like that shit. Less like what it actually is.
I just wonder the mindset of those people. Like, story needs to be important. It needs to have an important story.
They're just trying to put down genres that aren't there.
No, but there's gotta be more to it. Some of them. I mean, I can't imagine a whole mass of people just doing that for that reason. There's gotta be someone with an actual, like, an educated, like, halfway educated opinion about it. You know what I mean?
Well, if you're going into gaming for educated opinions, you're not going to get it.
Well,
opinions, you're going to get them left and right.
But you know what I mean when I say educated, like
they did research.
No, not research.
Like he's been to the big three. He's made indie games. He's made AAA games. He's had like 20 years of experience in the industry. Like, what are they saying?
Yeah.
About
what
this
is that
kind
guy
of
saying?
topic?
Yeah.
Because I mean, indie developers, God bless you. Be humble. Don't be an asshole. Because you're
not on some different plane from someone else.
Yeah. You're entering the same arena that those AAA games are entering.
Yeah.
We have money and we need to spend it on gaming. So which one are we going to pick? Don't be an asshole. Just make a good game.
Yeah.
There's no reason. Like, it's such a strange thing that somebody would put down anything in gaming, especially like once you've made a game and see how hard it is. Why put down somebody's work in general? Like, I'd love to put down people's work, but if it's like bad and poorly made and made to like shit on my wallet. But if I'm not going to just say like, man, this game needs a story or else it's bad, or this, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just so silly.
Or, I don't know if you know, the newest trend right now is everyone goes, man, Fallout 4's story sucked. Which, it was limited.
Yeah, I wasn't really...
But you still played it, didn't you? It's almost like it didn't matter.
I don't think the Fallout 4 story is limited to just the missions that the single player is, because I looked at the story as the world.
And
the world that I'm in.
That you had. Oh
I
shit, a rad roach popped up and I've got no health and I had to run from him.
Well, yeah. Like, what does that mean, you know? The visual storytelling in that game is so strong that if you're just thinking the story is the guy or the girl chasing their kid, like, you're missing out on what that story, the story is.
Just going into a random house and you see just a skeleton sitting in the bathtub. And it's just like, what happened here?
I walked into this room. It was in, well, it doesn't matter where it was, but I walked into this room and I walk in and there's like a bunch of people sitting on a couch and they're all skeletons and there's glasses on the table. And then I go, like, there's a bar behind them. I go there and there's rat poison in the bar. And so you ask yourself, did they poison themselves on purpose? or did somebody kill them? I would probably guess they poisoned themselves on purpose, realizing what was going on, and they all agreed as a group of people, like, let's just poison ourselves,
Exactly.
so we don't have to live in this world. Like that's visual. That's like storytelling without storytelling.
How it should be.
No words.
Exactly.
Well,
There's
not
no-
how it should be.
There's no words. There's no people saying this is what happened. It's just like
the skeleton's like,
this
this is what happened.
The story is the world they created, not necessarily always
Just
the mission
point A, point
structure
B.
saying.
Gotta find Sean. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's not how it works.
it's so good.
Yeah. So,
But yeah, if you're just looking at it like that, though. If you're looking at it from like point A to point B, then I guess I can understand that.
Then you probably like a lot of shitty stories.
probably, if you don't take in more than just what's being told to you,
Yeah,
you know, I've had people go like, okay, going back to John Wick. It'll be like, oh, hey, John Wick is such a shit movie because the story sucks. Like, but you know how hard they worked on those set pieces?
Mm-hmm.
And to make sure everything kind of flowed and you knew that this guy was like a trained killer and shit like that? That's great. They did a really good job with that. The story's shallow. Yeah, they killed my dog. That was the last representation of my dead wife. It sucks. I'm gonna kill you all now. And cheesy one-liners. But, man, was it choreographed well. And if you can't take something like that from like a movie or whatever, if you're just looking at something at face value, yeah, you probably shouldn't be having an opinion on it.
looking for Oscar bait.
Yeah.
Man, Mad Max Fury Road. It was just one long.
Road trip.
I've heard that.
Yeah, that's actually something I heard
Do you know what else is going on this road trip?
Who gives a shit?
Character development.
Yeah, just having fun, man.
Yeah.
Like, it just.
Explosions, practical, freaking special effects. You know, like if you can't appreciate it from that level, maybe you can appreciate the fact of like,
I think one of my least favorite is when they bring Lord of the Rings into it, and they're like, "Why didn't they just fly those stupid birds? I can't watch it now because they could have just flown the birds and like, just enjoy the fucking movie."
enjoy the fucking movie.
I do actually ask that question myself every time.
I think there was actually a reason, right?
Yeah, I think it's because.
But who cares? Like
Oh,
that's,
no,
that's the real
yeah.
thing. Is like, who cares why? Just enjoy the movie.
Yeah, I
It's a
enjoyed
fantasy
it.
epic.
But it's just like, But you know why, right?
Well, I mean, in the same breath, you can say the same thing about Star Wars too.
What?
Just enjoy the movie.
Yeah. Just
Like
enjoy. I can't enjoy the prequels.
I'm not asking about the prequels.
Good.
I'm saying something like, you know, like Rogue One, right? Like, you know how many people would kill to have like a, like what's a fan base that's alive? Doctor Who, like a legit, like actual Doctor Who, for real feature film. People would kill for. There's some people would, right? Like I could care less.
Yeah.
I'd go watch it.
But some people would go watch, right? But we have Star Wars, and Star Wars is out, and Star Wars is probably going to come out once every year,
Yeah.
and it's going to continue for a while because Disney wants money.
Sure.
They want the money. But guess what? At the end of the day, I'm probably going to see every single one.
I want a movie.
Just because at the end of the day, I'm not going to flip out and lose my shit just because you'll see it online a lot where people be like, they're ruining my Star Wars. And I'm like, no, they're not. They're producing more content for it. Maybe destroying the EU might have done it. But I mean, they're taking stuff.
No. That was the best thing they could have done.
No, man.
Destroy
Don't get
the
rid of
extended
Revan.
universe.
Don't get rid of my
I heard they brought it back.
I know. I sent that to you guys.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, okay, all right.
That's fine.
let's go.
But like with Star Wars, I'm just happy. Yeah, that they're making the movies.
Just make 'em.
And they're making competent movies. Do I agree with it? No. And there's like I had problems with Rogue One. I don't think it's perfect. I don't think Force Awakens is perfect. But they have to make it for mass appeal, and they're making them competently, as George Lucas never could. Judging especially by
he
those
did
prequels.
apparently.
What?
4, 5, and 6.
No, he directed 4. It was saved in editing. They say. It was a really rough cut.
We've got it.
He did not direct 5. He did not direct 6.
Okay.
5 was directed by Irvin.
So he wrote
Herschel?
5 and 6 then.
No,
What did he do for 5 and 6?
Just gave him the.
he gave him ideas and put his input in it, produced it, as it were. But
Doesn't sound like...
directed by a completely different person.
He shared his opinions.
So I got this character, right?
That's the thing.
His name is Jar Jar Binks.
It's like,
Hear
no.
me out.
Like he put it for 5 and 6, and it got turned down. Now it's his big turn.
What's going on?
But no, he had less control over those, and that's much for the better that he has not a lot of control.
Well, and then, it's funny, bringing it back to gaming, you could say the same thing for Street Fighter. People look at Street Fighter 4, buy Street Fighter 5, and they go, you're ruining Street Fighter because of what Street Fighter 5 is doing. I'm not going to get into the specifics, but people don't have a get out of jail free card in that game anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And people are losing their shit because a lot of people got back into Street Fighter or started playing Street Fighter. They're called 09ers. They're people that Street Fighter 4 was like the first real fighting game they took seriously, and they go to tournaments now and they're like, oh yeah, it's so great, but they don't know much about 3. They don't know much about 2. They don't know much about Alpha. So they go, oh, you're ruining Street Fighter with what 5's doing. When 5 was what happened in 3 and 2. And Alpha, ultimately. Where it was about... You did have your Alpha counter, so you had a little bit of a get-out-of-jail-free card. You had to waste resources to do it and knock people off of you to stop pressure. But all of that stuff... Like, I deal with it every day. People are like, oh, it's such a shit game. Why is it a shit game? Oh, because... it feels so basic or it feels so boring or whatever. And it's just like, well, that's just kind of the natural flow. They're taking away all this stuff. Guilty Gear took away a majority of its system and dialed everything back. People are like, oh my gosh, this is the best it's ever been. You know? But it's just...
Guilty Gear is a different case because Guilty Gear before was just way, way too complex.
I loved Guilty Gear before. Guilty Gear X2. And
I guess.
I've heard that argument with XCOM.
that it got more basic?
Mm-hmm. They made it more basic. But I think the majority of people like it more now.
Yeah.
But it was apparently much more complicated
Yeah,
back in
was.
the day. And it's just,
It's just...
it doesn't ruin the previous
It's still
experiences.
coming out. You're just getting another one. So is that ruining your previous experience? No, it's not. Is Street Fighter 5 ruining Street Fighter 4? No.
Yeah.
It's just not at Evo anymore.
Yeah, so I want it back at Evo.
I had my brother even brought this up to me, and I was just like, how dare you? He goes, Street Fighter 5 is such a shit game. I went back to Street Fighter 4, and that game was so much faster and so much better. I was like, and they gave you way too many things in Street Fighter 5. In Street Fighter 4. Street Fighter 4, certain characters had play styles, and that's all they were limited to. This basic style. At least in Street Fighter 5, everyone has the same kind of... I could do this, you could do this, I could also do this, you could also do this. It wasn't just that one play style. It made characters boring, or you play that one character, you fought every single person that's played that character. It wasn't any of that shit. So, I mean, we got off, but it's... Fucking critically think, damn it.
Don't be an asshole.
True.
Yeah.
I'll be
Before you say something negative, really think about it.
Think about what your mom would think before you say something negative.
Cool.
About your mom.
I'm Spencer.
I'm Rosie.
I'm your mom.
How about that, though?
And thanks for watching the Itchinites podcast number 81.
81.
We'll see you guys
Sooner.
next time.
Put that finger away. Put it away. It's a tool of mass destruction.